beloved son, precious daughter. Before you even came across this word, I was already waiting for you here. Before your eyes found this title, it was already my desire that your heart would hear this. I am giving you back the peace that was stolen from you years ago. Yes, a long time ago, something inside you was wounded, torn, invaded, silenced. And maybe you learned to live with that emptiness like someone who learns to sleep with chronic pain. You got used to smiling on the outside while bleeding on the inside, to waking up with dry eyes and a soul drowning within, to speaking with everyone except yourself, to enduring the day and fearing the night, to swallowing tears because no one would understand if you tried to explain. But I do understand. I saw, I heard. Every groan that escaped your chest when the world was asleep. I saw your clenched hands in the darkness, your wet pillow, your weary heart. I witnessed the day your peace was stolen, and today I declare the time of loss is over. I am giving back what belongs to you, because that peace, son, daughter, it's not the fruit of a problem-free life. It's the fruit of my presence, a peace that surpasses all understanding, that doesn't rely on circumstances, that doesn't depend on human answers. It's the peace of knowing that even in the valley of the shadow of death, I am with you. It's the peace of one who walks on stormy waters but keeps their eyes fixed on the Savior. It's the peace of one who goes through fire and isn't burned, who faces giants but does not retreat. You were created for this peace, not to live as a hostage to fear, guilt, rejection, or anxiety. What was forcefully ripped from you, I am rebuilding with grace. What the enemy stole with cunning, I am restoring with power. And what was broken, I don't just patch it, I remake it, renew it, recreate it. Remember when your soul still believed, when hope came naturally, when you dreamed with simplicity, when the days felt colorful. I knew that version of you. I walked with you even then, and I didn't walk away when you began to lose that light. I didn't hide when your soul began to close itself. On the contrary, I came even closer. And even when you thought no one was beside you, I sat with you. Even when your prayer seemed to falter, I heard the silence of your heart. The peace that was stolen from you started to wear away through small lies. You're not loved. You are not enough. No one cares. God has forgotten you. But today I come to silence every one of those voices with my truth. You are loved with an everlasting love. You are enough because I formed you with my own hands. You matter more than you can imagine, and I have never, never forgotten you. Your mind has been a battlefield. Thoughts that exhaust you even before your body rises. Old guilt dragging like chains on your feet. Worries about the future that crush your faith in the present. But today I invade that battlefield as the Prince of Peace. I raise my banner over you. I declare that your mind will no longer be a hiding place for fear, but a dwelling for hope. I now breathe over your memories, and what was once pain becomes testimony. I rescue your mind from the labyrinth of anxiety. I whisper into your thoughts, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. Your emotional clarity, your spiritual lucidity, your inner calm, all of that is being restored, not by merit, but by mercy. Not because you triumphed, but because I never gave up on you. And I know. There are wounds you hide even from yourself, traumas you've buried deep, memories filed away in fear, words that scarred you like a hot iron, moments that made you doubt even goodness itself, scars that shaped the way you love, trust, and live. But I'm the God who enters the darkest rooms of your soul, who shines light where no one dares to step. I don't just comfort you, I heal you. I don't just embrace you, I lift you up. And the peace I give you now is not the peace of forgetting, it's the peace of redemption. It's the peace that looks back and says, it hurt, but it passed. It wounded, but it didn't kill. It was a loss, but it became fertile ground. And in that soil, I am planting something new, a new season, a life that blossoms from the ruins. Because I'm a specialist in resurrecting what seemed dead, in turning graves into altars, in trading garments of mourning for garments of praise. And that is why today, as you hear me, even if you don't understand everything happening within, something is being realigned in the invisible. The cracks in your story are being filled with healing oil. The places where fear once lived are being washed with tears that are no longer of pain, but of freedom. Your soul, exhausted for so long, begins to breathe again. Not a stifled sigh, but a new, deep breath. The breath of someone who no longer has to hide. of someone who realizes the Father is walking with them again in the garden. And that garden, son, daughter, that garden is you, a garden long invaded by pests, violent storms, and strange hands. But I, your faithful gardener, never stopped caring for the roots. I never stopped watering in silence, even when you didn't notice, and now the season has changed. Yes, you still feel the aches of winter, the chills of memories, the calluses of past resistance. A heart somewhat hardened by the frost of the past. But listen, I am blowing a new wind. I'm calling the flowers by name. I am warming the dry soil with rays of my faithfulness. And what once seemed barren will bloom again. I am restoring not just your peace, but your sensitivity, your ability to feel without fear, to love without suspicion, to give yourself without holding back, because true peace isn't just rest, it's reconciliation. It's when your spirit aligns again with my will. When you stop fighting against me and begin walking beside me. When you kneel not because you're defeated, but because you finally understand that here on the ground of surrender, there is victory. The weak are not those who surrender to me. The weak are those who try to carry alone what only I can bear. The strong are those who bend their knees when all seems lost. The strong are those who admit they no longer know what to do and cry out. And you did cry out, even without words. Your soul called to me, even with groans. I heard, even through your anger or confusion. I understood because I read beyond your words. I know the texts your soul writes in silence, and that is why I come today. As a father who welcomes, as a shepherd who seeks, as a healer who mends, as a king who declares, peace has returned to your house. And where peace returns, fear must leave. Where light enters, darkness loses its claim. Where I dwell, nothing stays the same. I do not visit, I inhabit. I do not touch and leave. I stay, I do not merely repair. I rebuild from the foundations. You are no longer a refuge of trauma. You are now a temple of my presence. Do you feel it, son, daughter? That relief slipping from your eyes? It's not weakness, it's liberation. It's your soul releasing weights it was never meant to carry. It's your body responding to invisible healing. It's your spirit realigning with heaven. You are not just receiving comfort, you are being renamed from within. You were once called anxious, now you are called rest. You were once identified by your pain, now you are recognized by the promise. You were once seen as unstable, now I affirm you as a rock. Because everything that passes through my hands is transformed, and you passed through. You were molded in secret, in hiding, in what was despised, but now I breathe over you the same breath I breathed over dry bones. Live, and you will live. You will live without pretending. You will live without fear. You will live without needing to prove anything to anyone, because the peace I give does not need approval. It only needs to be received. So receive today my eternal gift. And when night comes again, it will. You will no longer be as vulnerable as before. When your pillow again becomes witness to your battles, you'll notice something is different, because now, even if tears still fall, they will fall on fertile ground. Even if the winds blow, you will be anchored. Even if the world screams, my whisper will be louder within you. You will have discernment to silence voices that are not mine. You will have wisdom to not reopen wounds I've already closed. You will have meekness to remain silent where once you reacted with desperation, because those who have peace do not need to prove anything. And I am your peace, not just an idea of peace, not just a promise of peace. I am peace itself, incarnate, present, constant. And where I am, there is no room for condemnation. Where I reside, there is no more rent space for anxiety. I bought your freedom with blood, and where there is blood of the Lamb, there is eternal covenant. Yes, son, yes, daughter, I am your peace. And today I don't offer you a fleeting moment of calm, but a new name written in heaven, a new way of walking across the ruins of what once paralyzed you, a new silence, not abandonment, but the fullness of my presence. You are no longer a prisoner of memory. I now break the chains of guilt that dragged you. I break the invisible pacts you made with suffering, thinking pain was a deserved punishment. I dissolve the accusations you hurled at yourself when you looked in the mirror with contempt. And I give back to you the gaze of a child. I restore the vision of who you are in me because I saw you before the pain. And today I restore you beyond it. You are mine, you always were. Nothing changed that. Not mistakes, not sins, not deserts, not failures, not time. Because I am the God who walks over your lost days, who visits your dark hallways, who sits beside your disorder without revulsion. And when everyone turned their face, I turned my heart. When everyone said, it's over, I declared, it still is. When even you gave up, I took your hand in the unseen and said, "Peace, I'm still here." Yes, today is a day of restoration, not just of things or moments or emotions, but of your essence. You were shaped to live in peace, and that peace I'm returning is not fragile, it is not shallow. It does not depend on what happens outside, it comes from within. It is born from the truth that you now know I am with you, that I never left, that I never gave up. Remember when everything felt heavy, when just getting out of bed was a battle? When you counted the hours just to survive the day, when even breathing hurt? I tell you, that is no longer your place. That cycle is over. The night has passed. Dawn has overcome. And now a new season is born, not because everything around you has changed, but because you have changed inside. I gave you roots, I gave you courage, I gave you discernment, I gave you healing, I gave you peace. And the peace I give is anchor, bridge, shield. It cannot be bought, it cannot be understood, it cannot be explained, it can only be received. And you are receiving it now, even without words, even without knowing what to do. Even in silence, you are receiving. So now breathe deeply, lift your eyes, your redemption draws near. Not just a life change, but a transformation from the inside out. What was misaligned becomes aligned. What was shadow receives light. What was wound becomes testimony. What was pain becomes message. Yes, you will walk again, and you will walk with your head held high, not in pride, but in restored identity, not as one who defeated all enemies, but as one who surrendered to the God who fights for you. You will be a refuge for others, a source of comfort for those who pass through what you passed through. You will be an answer where once you were only a question, because now your story carries anointing, your life carries peace. And when someone asks, "What happened to you?" just smile, because your peace will be visible, contagious, a sign that I was there. You will be like a tree planted by streams of water that yields fruit in season, whose leaf does not wither, and everything you do will prosper, because I am giving you back the peace that was stolen from you years ago. And when I return something, I multiply it. I make it overflow. I give in good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And it all begins now, in this moment. With that silent yes, your soul is whispering, "I heard it and I already answered. Now go, son, go, daughter, in peace, because that peace is yours by eternal right. And no one can take it from you. I am with you, and that is enough." Beloved, as you stand at this threshold of new beginnings, understand that restoration is not merely a return to what once was, but a transformation into what you were always meant to become. This peace I give you is not a fragile truce with your past, but a robust foundation laid deep within your soul. It is the quiet strength that anchors you when the storms of life rage, the steady flame that refuses to flicker out even in the darkest nights. You may wonder how to carry this peace forward, how to live it out in a world that often seems bent on chaos and confusion. The answer lies not in escaping reality, but in embracing it with a renewed heart. This peace empowers you to face the uncertainties ahead with courage, not because you are unafraid, but because you know you are never alone. It teaches you to hold your fears gently, to acknowledge your doubts without surrendering to them. In the days to come, you will find that this peace shapes your decisions. It will whisper to you in moments of hesitation, guiding you toward paths that nurture your soul rather than drain it. When the noise of the world clamors for your attention, this peace will be your sanctuary, a place of quiet clarity where your true self can be heard above the din. Know that healing is often a slow, patient journey. It does not rush or demand perfection, but invites you to walk step by step, sometimes stumbling, yet always moving forward. There will be moments when old wounds seem to reopen, when memories flood back with unexpected intensity. In those times, lean into this peace. Let it be the balm that soothes your aching heart, the steady hand that lifts you when you falter. Your emotions, once tangled and confusing, will begin to untangle. You will discover the power of naming your feelings without fear or judgment. This honesty with yourself is a sacred act of courage. It allows you to release what no longer serves you and to embrace the fullness of your humanity. You are not broken beyond repair. You are being made whole in ways you may not yet fully understand. As you grow in this peace, you will notice a shift in your relationships. The walls built from past hurt will slowly crumble, making room for deeper connection and authentic love. You will find yourself more patient with others, more compassionate toward their struggles, because you recognize the shared journey of healing we all walk. This peace does not isolate, it unites. There will be times when you are called to forgive, not just others, but yourself. Forgiveness is not a denial of pain, but a courageous release of its hold over you. It is a gift you give yourself, freeing your spirit to soar beyond the chains of resentment and regret. In this act, you reclaim your power and open your heart to new possibilities. Your mind, once a battlefield of anxious thoughts, is becoming a garden of hope. You are learning to tend it carefully, uprooting seeds of fear and planting instead the seeds of trust and faith. This mental renewal is a daily practice, a sacred discipline that nurtures your inner peace. It requires vigilance but rewards you with clarity and resilience. Remember, peace is not a destination, but a companion on your journey. It walks beside you in moments of joy and sorrow alike. It is the quiet voice that reminds you of your worth when the world tries to convince you otherwise. It is the steady rhythm beneath the chaos, the pulse of life that beats within you, unshaken and eternal. In your solitude, you will discover the richness of your own company. This peace invites you to sit with yourself without fear, to explore the depths of your soul with gentle curiosity. You will uncover hidden strengths, forgotten dreams, and the quiet wisdom that has always been within you. This self-encounter is a sacred pilgrimage, leading you to a deeper understanding of who you are. As you embrace this peace, you will find your purpose unfolding with greater clarity. It will no longer be a distant, elusive goal, but a living reality that shapes your daily actions. Your gifts, once buried beneath doubt and fear, will begin to shine forth, illuminating the path not just for yourself, but for those around you. Your life will become a beacon of hope and restoration. Challenges will come, for life is not without its trials. But now you face them with a new posture. One of strength rooted in surrender. You no longer resist what cannot be changed, but engage with it from a place of peace. This does not mean passivity, but a dynamic trust that transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Your heart, once guarded and wary, is learning to open again. This openness is not reckless but wise, discerning the difference between vulnerability and exposure. You will find the courage to love deeply and to receive love without fear. In this exchange, your soul will find nourishment and your spirit will soar. The peace you carry is contagious. As you walk in it, you become a source of calm in the lives of others. Your presence speaks louder than words, offering comfort to those who are weary and hope to the discouraged. You are a living testament to the power of restoration, a walking invitation to believe in the possibility of new beginnings. In moments of doubt, remember that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of a greater power within you. It is the quiet assurance that no matter what unfolds, you are held, protected, and loved beyond measure. This truth is your anchor, your refuge, your song in the night. You are invited to cultivate gratitude as a daily practice. Gratitude opens your eyes to the blessings that surround you, even in the smallest details of life. It shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, from despair to hope.